Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets was again directed by Chris Columbus and once again stars Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson and Rupert Grint as Harry, Hermione and Ron, who are starting their second year at Hogwarts and entering a kind of new, darker journey. There are things happening in the shadows that are way more dangerous than they've ever encountered. New characters and new revelations that pit them further and further against the returning force of Voldemort. This movie is actually one of the first that I really remember going to the cinema to see. The one memory that really sticks in my brain is the ending, where Harry kills the basilisk. I just thought, as a 7-year-old, that was amazing. So this movie does have a special place in my heart. Watching it again, kind of a similar experience to The Philosopher's Stone. I found way more problems than I did before, but it is a better movie. That doesn't excuse some of the flaws, so let's get into it. The things that I like more about this movie is the characters, actually. I found that in Philosopher's Stone, there was just a lot of, oh, okay, this part was in the book, and this is kind of what the message is, and all right, let's keep going. Like Harry, Hermione and Ron just don't really feel all that important to their own story in that first movie. Here, those three are vitally important because they all get different things to do. Harry, of course, is the main character, so he is much more deeply personally connected to the greater mystery that they're trying to solve. Ron and his family are having a lot more troubles trying to deal with the Malfoys. We get a little bit more of that kind of rivalry going on behind the scenes. And Hermione, I think, gets the best stuff. The fact that we learn that she is what is offensively called a mudblood, someone who is born of non-magical parents. And that makes her character a lot more interesting to me. Beyond just, oh, she loves books, and then she learns that maybe books aren't everything. Here, she is much more personally connected to what is going on. The fact that Draco offends her so much that she cannot believe it. She doesn't know how to really express that. And she has this wonderful, beautiful scene between her and Hagrid.
Come here. Don't you think on it, Hermione. Don't you think on it for 1 minute. Hey?
Emma Watson, at just such a young age, plays it so perfectly. Also, the new characters are actually really, really fun. Whether it be Lucius Malfoy, Gilderoy Lockhart, or Dobby, they're all played in incredibly different ways. I love Jason Isaacs as Lucius. He's just meant to be this kind of very expressive, very flamboyant sort of villain. Someone you can think, oh, that's what entitlement looks like in the magical world. He plays that really, really well. Kenneth Branagh is absolutely amazing as Gilderoy Lockhart. He is just a complete buffoon, and it's so much fun to watch. And Toby Jones as Dobby doesn't get enough credit because that character is really cool. Dobby is just completely tortured almost. He's a slave. It's a great theme behind his character. His first scene with Harry is just like, oh, it just plunges you directly into this is what's going on, take it or leave it basically. The central story is a lot stronger than Philosopher's Stone. The mystery around who opened the Chamber of Secrets, it directly ties back to the history of Hogwarts and how Salazar Slytherin was kind of racist, how he only wanted purebloods. Those are great themes to explore in what is basically a kid's magic movie, I guess. There's a lot of darker stuff in this movie, which I absolutely love, except for the scene with Aragog and the spiders, because I can't watch it. I'm deathly afraid of spiders, and that's the reason why. Because Aragog looks real. All the other CG spiders, I don't really care for. But it's the fact that there's this massive thing that actually has animatronic legs and fur and the eyes that are actually kind of moving. Pincer things are moving. You can see the kind of goop around its eyes. It just sends shivers all through my body. It's outstanding creature work, but it's honestly horrifying to me, okay? And the basilisk, like I said before, it's so great. I love the ending to this movie. Harry trying to maneuver around the actual Chamber of Secrets, trying not to be seen by the basilisk. They blend practical and CG work so much better in this movie than in the first one. But there are problems. While the central story, the central mystery of what is going on is good, there's also way too much going on. And that's the movie's fault for thinking that there are things in the book that happen that need to happen in this movie, but they don't. We don't need this much plot, because at the same time as we're trying to find out who Salazar Slytherin's heir is, there's also Dobby stopping Harry from going to Hogwarts, the Ministry of Magic is becoming more strained, Harry is a Parselmouth, Tom Riddle's diary, Ginny's possession, who is Moaning Myrtle, Hagrid's wrongful accusation that he opened the Chamber of Secrets about 60 years ago,
Harry, Ron and Hermione using the Polyjuice Potion, the Whomping Willow,
Lucius Malfoy blackmailing parents of Hogwarts students into calling for Dumbledore's resignation, Aragog and the Army of Spiders, Lockhart's deception, Foe the Phoenix, the Sorting Hat, the Sword of Godric Gryffindor, oh, and there's also a flying car too. The plot is simply quantity over quality, and it just doesn't need to be there. Also, John Williams' score from the first movie is so great. It set up the defining themes for these films. However, his music for Chamber of Secrets is fine, but it sounds exactly the same as the first movie. At the same time as he was working on this one, writing the music for the Chamber of Secrets, he was also writing the music for Attack of the Clones and Catch Me If You Can. All of those came out in the same year. So what we do have is a really funny thing that I discovered while watching this movie. It has another Quidditch scene, which they're just pointless. There's a particular piece of music that I heard, it sounds almost exactly the same as Attack of the Clones.
and then there's Maud.
Yeah, this is what happens when you get the greatest film composer and he's working on 3 different film scores within the same kind of 6-month period. In the end, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is still a pretty good watch. It holds up just a little bit more than the first one. The things that I like here, I really, really enjoy. They're actually great moments for the Harry Potter series. But the things that I don't enjoy, it's just a problem with Chris Columbus's direction. He just doesn't know how to make these movies feel all that truly magical, to really invest you into this incredible world. It's just not something that he was able to do. He's a very pedestrian director. He can do serviceable movies in the past. That's fine. But we do expect more from something like Harry Potter. It has better performances, better effects. There are a lot of other completely pointless things that don't make any sense. And in the end, I'll say that Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is...
I'd say a solid B-.
So Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, have you seen it? What did you think about it? What did you think about this review? Let me know in the comments below. If you want more Mr. Movies, click my channel link coming up right here, and thanks for watching.